Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've really been looking forward to recording this particular video. Lots of good stuff in here. I've got perspective from 6 different XRP chart analysts, including one who says that XRP is just refusing to drop. I'll show you exactly what he said and why, but there's good reason to believe that in very short order we're going to see a notable break in XRP. And so it's been performing blessedly lately, but it's not going to stay around the 60-cent region forever. There is a chance it could go down, but I'm going to share with you perspective because odds, from many analysts' perspectives anyway, odds seem to favor a continuation to the upside. But you know what I'm actually, this might sound weird, but it's actually not if you let me explain. You know what I'm actually more excited to share with you, which I'm going to do in the first part of this video? It's this. There's this headline from Markets Insider titled, "Why the Market's Smallest Stocks Will Surge 15% in August," according to Fundstrat's Tom Lee. And so this is an article written about a segment on CNBC's Squawk Box. And so like, I understand. This is an XRP-centric YouTube channel. XRP is my favorite cryptocurrency that there has ever been. It is my largest individual cryptocurrency. I'm biased for good reason, I would argue, though. But you know what I'm eyeing most and what I find most interesting tracking, and I hope that you guys out there are going to agree with me? It's we need to see a break when it comes to small cap stocks, specifically the Russell 2000, because I don't believe for a second that XRP, which I'm most interested in, which I'm assuming most of you are either, if it's not your favorite or largest crypto, it's one of your favorites or larger holdings, right? Tons of us out here in this, we're a large community. But you know, if you want XRP to hit a new all-time high, you better be hoping that we see an increase in breadth in terms of traditional finance. If you just look at equity specifically, right? Because there has never been an alt season without that being the case. I want my XRP to go. I feel like there's about a 0% chance my XRP is going to hit a new all-time high this market cycle if we don't see that expansion. So the reason I'm excited to share with you the specifics in this article, and I've seen lots of perspectives today, I'm just going to share with you this one. Maybe in a separate video I can cover some more stuff on this topic. I just didn't want to beat it to death too badly, but if he's right, my God. And based on historic precedent, it's most probable, if history is to kind of rhyme with itself, we're going to see a huge explosion when it comes to breadth, as far as the Russell 2000 opening up and running, further than it has in recent days. And if that happens, alt season galore, my friends. That would be my expectation, including XRP. And XRP has been consolidating for so long. It's got the legal clarity. It's got everything going for it. If this indeed happens, I think it's just going to like blow up intensely, which is why, even though I'm looking forward to share with you specific analysis from various XRP chart analysts, at this particular moment in time anyway, I'm the most interested in. Now, at the time I'm recording this, it is 8:17 p.m. Central Time, Thursday, July 25th, 2024. We have XRP right above 60 cents. You have Bitcoin at $66,417. It has been on a bit of a run, and I'm not going to really talk about Bitcoin in this video, but I did track analysis from all sorts of individuals that I regularly follow, and there was this broad expectation for much of the last 24 hours that this thing was about to go, and it has been to this point. I'll just mention this, and then we'll be done with Bitcoin for the video, but there's certain things that we're seeing in charts that I saw from enough analysts leading them to publicly declare that what is most probable is this surge, and not just that it's just a surge here and it's just going to stop now that we're at $66,408. There are some analysts that are thinking that this is going to be going to test the $70,000 price level in short order. So we'll see what happens. But I'm most interested in expansion in the markets. Despite the fact, I want to mention this too. So as far as XRP, it's kind of funny to me. So XRP is sitting pretty right now as far as I'm concerned. It's up quite a bit from its recent low at 38 cents. It's now above 60 cents. It had an actual impulsive move, truly organic. There wasn't news that caused it. It was just an impulsive move in a bull market, right? And so a couple hours or so ago, when was this? It fell back, 3:40 p.m. Okay, so several hours ago. fell down to 58.6 cents. That's the 24-hour low. People screaming bloody murder. Like it's the end of the world. I'm like, guys, chill. We actually saw a dip that low literally 2 days ago. It's just been kind of ranging the last couple days. Nothing horrendous has happened. And yeah, maybe it goes down a little bit, which I'll bring up a little bit later in the video, but even that's not the end of the world. This thing won't go up in a straight line, but when it goes, it goes. You got the Crypto Fear and Greed Index at 68 out of 100, so market is feeling greedy. So the headline here from Markets Insider, why the market's smallest stocks will surge 15% in August, according to Fundstrat's Tom Lee. And so I'm hoping that a lot of you will agree that even though this technically isn't an article about XRP, this should be the most exciting thing to give you confidence about XRP in this video. I hope, because it's what matters the most. We have never had XRP go on a crazy run without this expansion in the market. Like it just hasn't happened. So if he's right here, fireworks, my friends. Piece reads as follows. With the tech sector tanking, smaller stocks are taking over the summer. Fundstrat's Tom Lee told CNBC that the small cap focused Russell 2000 is likely to gain 15% or more through August if history is any guide. And I'll just pause to note, and I'm sure most of you are aware, but we have seen a major surge, and it's referenced in this article. But when was that? So was it maybe Thursday? Am I getting my weeks right? Was it Thursday? So a week and a half. When was that? It was the Thursday that it run. I can't remember exactly when now. What the hell day is it? Is it? Oh, it is Thursday. Was it? No, so it was probably 2 weeks ago then. Well, I don't think it was last week, right? Anyway, it was a Thursday, and then the Russell started showing some signs of life, outperforming the NASDAQ 100 tech-heavy stock index. There was one day where it was up like, I think it was 3.57%, and that was on a day where the S&P 500 was down and the NASDAQ 100 was down. And so to see that strength, which was sorely missing, that was a really good sign. And you saw a continuation in the coming days, actually. There were multiple days where it was up over 1%, adding up to a point where in a week's time, I think it was up, maybe it was like 11 or 12% at one point. Whatever the exact numbers were, a massive move after seeing pretty much nothing for a long time. And I was stating back in January, we don't know for sure if we're going to see that expansion, but I said there is historic precedent for the Russell 2000 to lag behind. So it's not the end of the world that it hasn't happened yet, but it is a problem if it doesn't happen. If you want your XRP to go, you need to see this happen, right? So anyway, piece continues. The index has already achieved steep gains throughout July, climbing more than 10% month to date through midday Thursday. Lee says the market's certainty in upcoming interest rate cuts, expected to commence in September, is helping drive the small cap rally. Those firms have more debt exposure and therefore poised to benefit most from lower borrowing costs. Conversely, persistently high interest rates have been cited as a reason for the Russell 2000's underperformance in recent years. Okay, so I'm assuming a lot of you are aware at this point because it's been talked about so intensely in the world of crypto, and I brought it up a number of times because it's consistently relevant. You know, frequently when there are rate cuts from the Fed, you do see ultimately, though not immediately, that everything's ultimately going to tank because not that the rate cuts cause that, but they're frequently done in response to something, and so by then it's already too late, it's broken, and everything falls apart. That's frequently the case. Now, it's not always the case. Sometimes there are rate cuts, and the market keeps chugging higher, as I noted that happened going into the 90s, right? So there are examples like that. It doesn't mean for sure that everything's going to hell in a handbasket, but it's perceived for whatever reason to be a positive thing. And it's being cited here by this particular analyst, Tom Lee, as something that the market will view, right or wrong, the market will view that as positive. And we do see that behavior in those types of comments, even in crypto Twitter. I scroll through enough to know that people, mistakenly or not, they do view it as an actual positive here, and it could materially change their actual behaviors, right or wrong, forget it. It could change their actual behaviors. That's the big point there. And so, if that's indeed the case, and people are like, oh, well, the smaller businesses, they got access to cheaper capital, they can grow their businesses, that's going to be good. I'm going to start throwing money into those stocks then. That's the general thought process, right? So anyway, piece continues. It's also worth noting that the small cap index has seen a gradual rise rather than a sharp, unsustainable increase, Lee said. He pointed out that the Russell 2000 has notched a 1% gain over the past 10 of 11 days. And check out this quote. This is cool. The 9 times it did that since 1979, when you were in a bear market, we were up 100%. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months later, he said. The 12-month average gained 40%. So again, he said that's the 9 times that it did what it just did, what just happened. The 9 times that it has done that since 1979, you're talking, even if you just look 12 months out, 40% gain. That's what he's saying. That's just what history tells us. Now, it's not a guarantee of what's going to happen here, but history rhymes with itself. This is very good, all right? It's just data. It just is what it is. And again, we need to see this. If you want your XRP to melt faces and hit a new all-time high, you better be hoping that this actually unfolds. Piece continues. Lee previously projected the rally to last around 10 weeks, starting in August, eventually notching 40%. He's now getting even more specific with his forecast, highlighting August as a particular standout period. Quote, for the month of August, small caps can do something more than 15% because they underperformed so dramatically. The type of moves seen just in the last 2 weeks is something that only happens at the start of a pretty significant advance for small caps, end quote. And so all sorts of analysts in the world of crypto have been noticing this as well, including the blockchain backer, who I think is the one that really got most of this conversation going at the beginning part of this year, maybe even part of last year. And he's right. And here you have Tom Lee saying, hey, we're expecting a 15% move for August. I'll tell you what, if that happens, and knowing that, altcoins tend to follow that type of activity, we could have a hell of a frickin' August. And look at how XRP's positioned right now, and more on that in just a second. The rest of the video, it's all going to be XRP anyway, but I just wanted to get through this first to let you know this positive perspective. A little bit of good news, a lot of good news, actually. There's reason to be excited here, even though we don't know for sure what's going to happen. We'll never know for sure. But if you're playing the odds based on history, Tom Lee says, yeah, it's going to go bonkers. That's the important thing here. And so he says that what we've just seen, again, the last couple weeks, only happens at the start of a significant advance for small caps. It only happens at that point. Because it wasn't some sort of, again, he also cited, it wasn't some sort of overly exuberant move, which was just correcting to the downside. It's just like, it happened over a period of a couple of weeks, right? Piece continues. Aside from easing interest rates, Lee also cited upcoming election outlooks for fueling the Russell 2000's rise. With betting markets indicating a Donald Trump presidency, investors are likely enticed by small caps. That's as Trump's policies would likely boost deregulation, mergers and acquisitions, and regional banks, Lee said. Otherwise, Lee says the rally also signals that investors are moving on from large cap trades as the artificial intelligence frenzy dims down. On Wednesday, the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100 hit its worst day since 2022, tanking 3.6%. While the AI narrative remains intact over the long run, investors focused on free cash flow or price to earnings will find small caps more attractive, he said. So even if some of those funds are coming from large caps, okay, we need to see this. If you want to have a proper alt season, this is it. So let's talk about XRP for the rest of the video. And I hope you guys see why I spend as much time on that as I did. And it's because it is the most important thing. That's my opinion anyway. I hope you guys agree. That's the most important thing if you want XRP to go. Now, the rest of the stuff is highly interesting too. And I think it'll be almost entirely anyway a cause for optimism as far as what's going to happen in the short to midterm for XRP specifically. Because in the long term, and we're so far into the cycle, if you say long term, are you talking about like when we get into a bear market? Like we're far enough through this thing. The short and midterm, you'd think that would be getting us towards the end part of the cycle, wouldn't you? But anyway, here's a post from chart analyst Dark Defender, and he was basically just noting the same level. I was just highlighting because it's his most recent update here. Hey, we basically just watch for that 66 cent level. That's when he says you really need to watch if you want to see this thing break. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK. This is a little bit of a warning. He actually posted this yesterday morning. He said, XRP popping. This is the current lower time frame wave count we've been observing. This will be invalidated if we get a break above the white line at 64 cents. I will reassess if this happens. And so he doesn't have like an incredibly high level of confidence, but he's viewing this, what's on your screen, as a probability, which is, for those of you looking, you can see, potentially a breakdown for XRP in the short term only, potentially down to close to 52 cents. Now, mind you, it just had a run from 38 cents. That's not exactly the end of the world. And he also wasn't incredibly confident that it was going to happen. And it could still be invalidated as of the time he posted this yesterday morning. If XRP gets above 64 cents, he says, nope, throw that one out the window. Now, he's not the only analyst that was warning that yesterday. Again, this is yesterday. He's not the only analyst that was warning we could see a breakdown. Here was chart analyst Dom at TraderView2. He shared this XRP USD chart, and he said, and this is last night, he said, XRP acting strong, but watching this short-term trend. Losing it puts us back in the mid 50-cent region, which I still believe to be healthy as long as the red box holds. And he says the red box goes down as low as called about 53 cents. So he was warning at the time he posted this. XRP had wicked down a little bit, and he's just warning, hey, I'm not sure if it's going to break down here. He's just warning. It's kind of similar to what Crypto Insight UK was saying. Just watching this, if that happens, you could see move to the downside, perfectly healthy. If so, that hasn't happened to this point, though. And so now that a little more time has happened, we've seen some more development in terms of price action. He seems to be increasingly optimistic. In fact, take a look at this post just from this morning. Another XRP USD chart, and he said, XRP refusal to drop lower over the last few days has printed a clear ascending triangle. These break bullish 70% of the time. Either way, plus or minus 10 cents breakout coming soon. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We could be a little happy or a little sad in the short term because he says we're going to see a breakout. It's an ascending triangle. We get to the apex. It's going to go one way or the other. So we could see close to 50 cent XRP or instead close to 70 cent XRP. But the thing he believes one way or another is about to break sooner than later. But again, even if it were to the downside, that's a pretty heavy support right there. As he was citing around 53 cents. So could fall lower, but this isn't going to invalidate the higher time frame thesis from any of these analysts. That's a key takeaway. It's not time to be panicking, although some people will be, if XRP goes down, because people have been so beaten down by XRP over the years that if we do see another break after it just ran up to like 63, almost 64 cents, if we see a breakdown to anywhere even close to 50 cents, the comments on social media, what they're going to be, right? People are going to be crying, and I'm just going to be sitting there like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. It's beating you down. This is what markets do. I expect markets to do this to you. I'm aware it does this to humans, so I'm just not participating. Not emotionally, anyway. I have fun tracking this stuff, and I'm interested just like the rest of you. I'm not going to emotionally participate in that way. If I'm going to participate with any emotion, it's excitement. I'll give you that one. Because that makes it. It makes sense to have excitement as an XRP holder right now. And this is the most optimistic I've ever been as an XRP holder. And I've never sold a single one of my precious XRP coins in this fall will be 7 years holding. I bought November 17th, 2017. That was the first time I purchased XRP. I've been holding since then. I'm optimistic, ready for this thing to go. Whenever it's ready. No pressure, XRP. No pressure. I mean, you can fight. You take your time. Just take a few months, a few more years, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Not a few years. Also had this from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto, XRP BTC chart. And he wrote, the XRP face melting rally is far from over. And you can see, for those of you looking at the screen, you can see what he charted, obviously. He cites this particular price action, where I'm moving my mouse right here, dating back basically, looks like about a year. He says, look, XRP price against Bitcoin for this past year, it's a falling wedge. And you can see in more recent times, the degree of that volatility has been decreasing, which you would expect to see in a falling wedge. And I know that even though I'm not a chart guy, I accidentally pick things up. So even I know that. But he's noting, look at the direction it's going, getting out of this particular channel. Those are the lines that he drew. So It's been fun seeing what it's been doing. From 38 cents to 63, 64 cents, that was about a 67% jump for that range. But he says, yeah, face melting ad. So regardless, and as I keep saying, XRP has always found a bottom against Bitcoin in every single market cycle. It will again this cycle. If the current bottom isn't the final bottom, okay, whatever. But I will say at this point, there's a lot of confidence from analysts that I follow that, yeah, that was probably it. The bottom was June 7th. That was probably it. Don't know for sure, but look at this strength here. With all this strength, I mean, an actual genuine impulsive move here. It's a pretty compelling case that they're making when they're saying, yeah, that's probably it. Well, look at what's been happening. XRP dominance increasing, citing the relative strength index. Pick a metric. There's also this from Charting Guy, and this is kind of an interesting idea here. And you guys may be aware, especially if you were here in 2021, Doge substantially outperformed. My God, that thing run. That little dog running like crazy. Now, of course, the cycle before that, it was XRP. From the bottom to the top of the cycle, 80,000% gains, literally. It's pretty amazing. And so what he wrote here, he's got XRP BTC on the top, and then the bottom chart is Doge BTC. And he simply wrote XRP BTC this cycle, Doge BTC last cycle. And so it'll be interesting to see if you get that same or similar type of crazy burst to the upside. And given how long XRP has been consolidating, I could buy something like that. Not that you're literally going to get the same percentage gains because there's more money now in XRP than there was when it was half a penny. So you're not going to get literally the same percentage gains, but there's so little money in XRP that it's not going to take a crazy amount of funds rotating through the space, sloshing around. If we really do see a greater expansion, it's not crazy to think that it would be enough to get substantial, like truly life-changing wealth for so many of you XRP holders out there. It would not surprise me. I'm planning on getting mine, folks. So we'll see what goes down here, but this is the latest on the XRP BTC chart, going back the last 3 months. It's a beautiful sight trending up. You'll love to see it. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think. I am thrilled. I'm very excited, and I hope Tom Lee is right. I do have more examples, but I didn't want to go too any heavier on the small cap stock stuff and the importance of that as it pertains to expansion in crypto markets any more than I already did. Maybe in a future video I'll highlight, maybe tomorrow, some additional examples, because it's not just him citing things along those lines. It really isn't. I'm seeing this from multiple. And so a lot of times when I'm making a heavy point, I do like to have at least a few examples, but I figured I want to go through that whole thing. So I'll just let that speak for itself. There will be opportunities in other videos to talk further on the matter. But that to me was what got me most excited about XRP today specifically. Because man, if he's right. And I saw multiple analysts out there, like mainstream analysts, saying very similar things. I'm just thinking, man, if these guys are right, and history kind of rhymes with itself because that's just data. Like, we know what's happened in the past tons of time and almost always does go that way. Wow, we're going to have a fun rest of the year and perhaps even early into 2025. So hang in there, folks. It's not going to be up only literally, but just about. I mean, this thing starts anyway. But just if we just hang in there, we gonna get ours. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.